Welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. This is the final demo day where we take care of all the loose ends from demolishing our old cabin. And stick around to the end of this video to see a tribute to the old cabin, and not only our deer camp, but to all deer camps past and present. If there's one thing Karen disliked about the Southern Ohio cabin, it was these set of steps here. Very uneven, hard to walk on, especially if it's dark out. And though I really don't know how this final grade is going to work out once the new place is in, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to be accessing the new place, whether it be stairs, a ramp, gravel, yellow brick road, escalator. Now I'm not entirely sure what to do with these old slabs. They might get recycled, they might get used as fillers somewhere. So we're just setting them off to the side for who knows what. So the cabin's pretty much gone. We just have a little bit more of stuff to burn on a burn pile, and we still have quite a bit of room left in the dumpster. So we're going to start going around and perusing for things that have been laying around for years and just toss it in there and get rid of them while we have the opportunity. Probably about 200 gallons of water left in the tank right now. We're going to drain it down till there's maybe about 50 less, a little bit less than that, just in case we need it for our burn pile. While that's draining, I'm going to start packing up my tools. Now before we started things this morning, it was kind of quiet, the fire wasn't crackling or anything, and I was able to hear another leak in my tire, which I think is the one that's been troubling us the whole time now. So I put another patch in it, and it's been a couple hours, and I'm going here to get a little reading, and I'm still at 20 pounds. 20 pounds, that's what I put in a couple hours ago, so that's a good sign. We might have found our leak. I had some free time, so I was able to go up on the side of the hill and start looking around for a spring. Okay, so far this is the only prospect I have. I'm trying to stay close to the cabin and working my way back, but the way the leaves are and everything down here, it's kind of hard to find anything. This does seem to be flowing, but this time of year could just be a false positive because of being spring. But it is the only wet area right around here. It doesn't seem like it's a dry creek bed that runs whenever it rains every time. This is basically flowing right out of the ground over here, and I muddied it up quite a bit and it cleared right up. It's not overly fast, but I don't need it to be overly fast. If it's going to deliver some water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we come down here mostly on weekends and more in the fall, and we have our holding tank filled up, I don't think that would be an issue. But for now, it's at least a prospect. But, there's more to come on this. I'm sure we'll have to wait a couple months and come back here and check and see if it's still flowing and just see if this is going to be doable for us or not. Cooking up our last supper with some homemade spaghetti sauce with tomatoes right out of our garden from last year and some deer sausage that was left over from one of the other guys. Well, this is already a weird sight coming up this driveway and not seeing a cabin sitting there anymore. That's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Unfortunately, in a couple weeks, this will probably just be a large mud pit on top of it. But hey, that's progress. Okay, day 6 of demo comes to a close. We've got JD back on the trailer, all hooked up, ready to go, straps on. We got to take care of getting the RV hooked up first thing in the morning. One more night in the RV tonight, and then we'll be heading home probably around, hopefully about 9 a.m. in the morning. So 6 days. I anticipated staying here for 12 if I had to, and we got everything accomplished in half that time. I wish the excavator could have came out here while we were out here in case he wanted us to do something else. I have a feeling that some trees are going to have to come down, and if he told us to take down some certain trees, we probably could have took care of it that now. Not a big deal if we have to do it later. We'll just knock them over and pull them to the side. Don't know if I'll need JD for that. We could probably just use the UTV and get whatever we need to get out of the way. But for now, everything's cleared out. We have actually some room to spare in the dumpster. That was a 30-yard dumpster. And we put the water tank in the back of it right now. Before we leave tomorrow morning, we're going to make sure the fire is completely out. So we left a little bit of water in that water tank. We're going to use some 5-gallon buckets and just dump whatever we have left in the water tank onto the fire. So that's completely out before we leave. So the next step, we'll be meeting with the home company. We'll be staking out exactly where we want the house to sit. And then I'll take it from there. And then I'll try to come back and document things as they're happening. I'm going to keep an eye on the spring that I found back up in the woods a little ways. It's probably about 200 feet that away. I'm crossing my fingers that that'll be okay. I'm thinking worst case scenario that we put about a 1,000-gallon holding tank underground. So if we use a spring, we could supply that tank with water from the spring. And if for some reason that's not viable and we cannot find a spring and we have to go with a well, wells are pretty slow around here. The neighbor's well, the county is pretty much notorious for having some pretty slow wells. But if that's the case, then we'll have the holding tank there. The well can be used to just pump into the holding tank, and that way we'll always have a good buffer. And it also opens up the possibility if finances are a little bit more than we think or things are getting over budget, we could hold off on the well and still use that holding tank to just have potable water delivered as we need it. We're still just using this as a hunting place, and we'll probably come out a little bit more often. But if we had a delivery of 1,000 gallons of water, potable water to put in this tank, that would last us quite a while, a couple months for sure. And even during the summer months, we don't come down too much in the summer because it's too hot. I just come down to maintain the grass, that that would work out okay. And then if we wanted to put off putting a well or still try to search for that ultimate spring up there on the hillside, well, then we can still go that route. We'll see how that plays out. I appreciate you for watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one is coming out. And keep an eye on us. Stick around and we'll see what happens in this whole project.
In a 1960s deer camp, a kid frozen to his core, hanging round grown men with ungloved hands carrying Model 94s. Wearing red and black check Mackinaws, barely buttoned up, bucks hanging on the meat pole, drinking coffee from tin cups. Sure hit home, sure hit home. Old Deere camp memories sure hit home. Where the north wind shakes the hardwoods till they sound like rattling bones, rattling bones. Old Deere camp memories take me home. There were biscuits every morning with gravy on the side, eggs over easy in bacon grease they'd fry. Each night a pot of chili, good and steaming hot, a skillet full of loins and straps when someone made the shot. At supper, Uncle Laurie told camp stories. I hung on every line. In 70 years of cribbage games, he'd only seen 129. His hunting friend drew the perfect hand, but never got to count. Led with his jack, which Laurie paired, needing 2 points to peg out. Sure hit home, sure hit home. Old Deere camp memories sure hit home. Where the north wind shakes the hardwoods till they sound like rattling bones, rattling bones. Old Deere camp memories take me home. There seemed to be a code in camp to which everyone complied. Neither sport nor competition brought these old hunters pride. Instead, some ancient primal need to prove that they were able to fend for themselves and family, place food upon their tables. Now most these men are long since gone, but their spirits go on living. There's a blaze orange pilgrimage each year around Thanksgiving. Sometimes I see a deer or two, but these days mostly not. My feet get cold, but not my soul. I hear a distant shot. Sure hit home, sure hit home. Old Deere camp memories sure hit home. Where the north wind shakes the hardwoods till they sound like rattling bones, rattling bones. Old Deere camp memories take me home.